What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're talking European rugby returning in August, which is this month. The wait is finally over for all the European rugby fanatics. It's been a long wait for you guys. South Africa is still unfortunately waiting, but until then we can enjoy more rugby added to the TV schedule. We've got Super Rugby Aotearoa, Super Rugby AU, and now we got Pro14 and Premiership returning later this month. Exciting stuff to look forward to. I mean, both teams approaching round 14 of their respective tournaments, and we are in for an interesting ride towards the end. A lot of question marks I think is going to be going towards these guys is how they're going to cope with having not played the sport for so long. Yes, there's training going on and all that jazz, but at the end of the day, the physicality of the game, of tackling and all that jazz, is something that these guys haven't been used to for quite some time. If you look at Super Rugby Aotearoa, you would have witnessed quite a few injuries taking part, and that's because the guys are a little bit rusty and they haven't played obviously in a while. They're not used to that physicality of the tackles and the impact of a tackle. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys adjust. Now, obviously, the Six Nations is also scheduled for later on this year. So these guys will want to not get injured. They will want to stay focused, stay in good shape and good health as they approach the Six Nations, because they will want to end that tournament with a bang. So a lot to think about, a lot to look forward to as we approach Pro14 and Premiership Rugby, and a lot to look forward to. If we look at some of the fixtures, Pro14 will kick off with, Benetton take on Zebra, Scarlets versus Cardiff Blues, a good old Welsh derby there. Edinburgh taking on Glasgow, so another Scottish derby there. We've got an Irish derby, Leinster, my boys taking on Munster, another team I thoroughly enjoy. Ospreys Dragons, and Connacht versus Ulster. It's going to be cracking. What a start to come back to Pro14. It's going to be absolutely amazing. If we look at round 14 of the Premiership, you got Harlequins taking on Sale Sharks, which is my Premiership team. You got Bath taking on London Irish. You got Bristol Bears taking on Saracens. You got Exeter Chiefs taking on Leicester Tigers. You got Worcester Warriors taking on Gloucestershire Rugby's. Northampton Saints taking on the London Wasps. Some phenomenal fixtures to look forward to. What I'm looking forward to the most as a South African fan, obviously because we don't have SA Rugby back yet for maybe till September, mid-September if we're lucky. It's going to be good watching our South African boys represent their respective teams in Pro14 and in the Premiership Cup. So, Faf de Klerk, come on, looking forward to seeing him again. It's going to be good. And obviously my Sharks boys, the ones who left to the other Sharks, it's going to be good to see these guys really shine and play. And also to see the stars of Europe come back and show their worth and what they're made of, and to really put their names down on the map as we approach Six Nations, because these guys will want to show what they can do, what they can do differently to their respective international coaches. So a lot to look forward to and a lot on the line. And let's not forget, as we approach later on in 2020, we still got to finish off with the Champions Cup. And there's good quarterfinal games to look forward to there. So it's an interesting turn of events. Now, obviously, with Premiership, it was highlighted with Saracens being relegated, etc., etc. But that's another team that's really not done badly considering their situation. Maritoge is there, you got Owen Farrell there, you got the Vunipola brothers there. There's just pure class within that squad. Exeter Chiefs, Stuart Hogg, what's he going to do differently after the Six Nations start that he had wasn't that good, so he will want to show what he's made of. Francois Lowe, ending off his career with Bath. What can he do to really show the world and thank Bath Rugby and thank the world to say, I'm leaving, but I'm leaving on strong terms. Pro14, it's going to be an interesting tournament as we approach. Can Leinster show that they are still one of the dominant teams? Can we see one of the Welsh teams in Scarlets? Can they do something to surprise us? It's going to be an exciting tournament, and I'm really looking forward to it. And let's not forget, you've got Glasgow and Edinburgh, two teams that also want to fight it out. The Italians, What can they do to prove the critics wrong? And let's not forget, if allowed, the Cheetahs and the Kings. Cheetahs not done too badly, but the Kings obviously haven't done well at all. They will want to also try and sneak out a win to silence the critics that have been saying they shouldn't even be in the tournament. And also, let's not forget, we don't know what the future holds for South African rugby and possibly joining this tournament to make it Pro 16. What's going to happen? How the change is going to come about, and how we're going to enjoy it. So these guys are going to have to enjoy this tournament, because we could see changes coming to us in the future with this whole story of Pro 16 and Pro 18 or whatever it may be. But the good news is there's talk of European rugby, and it's on its way back in a few weeks' time. Who's going to win it? Hey, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But what I'm most curious about in this whole tournament of events is how these guys are going to adapt. If we look at Super Rugby Aotearoa, we've seen amazing rugby playing abilities from these guys with regards to almost showing no signs like that they've been on a 3-month break. Now, these guys, obviously, it's a bit longer. It's 4 to 5 months of no rugby. So they're going to be, obviously, and rightly so, a little bit rusty. So hopefully, for the sake of the players and the stars who are wanting or have an opportunity at Six Nations and that end-of-year tournament, which includes Fiji and Japan, they will want to keep their fitness level strong and fit so that nothing happens to dampen the opportunity of playing international rugby for their respective country. One thing's for sure, it's going to be one hell of a tournament. Both these tournaments are going to be great, and I'm also just as excited for the Champions Cup, because we're going to have to end off there and see who's going to win. Will we see a French team take it? Or will we see an Irish team take it? Or will we see another English team take it? It's going to be a cracker, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to. I hope it's going to be just as active, just as exciting as we appreciate this game of rugby. But one thing's for sure, European rugby is on its way back. I'm going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.